Hello and welcome to BoI Weekly. Since the first case of COVID-19 was reported in Nigeria a couple of weeks back, a lot has happened, not just here in Nigeria, but globally. Governments all over the world have had to reallocate resources and even review priorities in order to respond strategically and effectively to the global pandemic. The pharmaceutical industry is one of such sectors now classified as essential, and the reasons are obvious. The Bank of Industry is, however, ahead of the curve as it has sustained its intervention in the pharmaceutical subsector over the years. Fidson Healthcare PLC, a leading pharmaceutical manufacturing company in Nigeria, founded in 1995, is one of BoI's targets in the sector. With multi-billion Naira interventions from the Bank of Industry over the last 11 years, Fidson Healthcare PLC now boasts of a globally competitive World Health Organization certified drug production plant in Ota, Ogun State. I'm Kayode Alayande. Welcome to the program.
Have you ever imagined a time when you could apply for and get a loan from the comfort of your bedroom? Or prayed that the processing time was shorter? Well, it is now a reality with the fast and swift Bank of Industry real-time online loan application initiative.
The BoI online loan application portal is designed to deliver access and convenience to prospecting SME customers by ensuring that applicants need not have to physically visit the bank. Applicants simply have to submit all necessary documents via the online portal with the liberty to select their preferred BoI state office wherein their applications will be processed. How it works? Simply search the keyword Bank of Industry and download your mobile app from Play Store for Android users, BlackBerry App World for BlackBerry users, and Apple Store for iPhone users. Click on the Apply button. Click on Register to register your account. A verification link and tracking code will be sent to your registered email address. Click on the verification link to facilitate login. Once logged in, you can complete your application, submit, and click on Continue to start tracking your loan application. An email will be sent to your email address confirming receipt of the application. With this initiative, BoI has reduced its loan application and processing turnaround time. Start applying for your loan right away. Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.
Fidson Healthcare PLC is a leading pharmaceutical manufacturing company in Nigeria. Its 7th-floor headquarters sits fine and dandy in the heart of Obanikoro along the ever-busy Ikorodu Expressway, Lagos. Founded in 1995 as a local distributor of pharmaceutical products, Fidson has positioned itself as the most preferred healthcare provider in sub-Saharan Africa, producing a wide range and class of pharmaceutical products for obstetrics and gynecology, vitamins and minerals, cardiovascular medicines, anti-infectives and anti-malarials, appetite stimulants, as well as medicines for diseases of joints. Fidson has been meeting the healthcare demands of the Nigerian people for almost a quarter of a century. The goal is to be the #1 pharmaceutical industry in Nigeria, saving lives as well as providing value for investors, despite the challenges of operating in a very tough economic environment. The MD CEO, Dr. Fidelis Ayebe, says the Bank of Industry is instrumental to their steady growth over the years.
Fidson Pharmaceuticals is today a manufacturer and distributor of over 250 brands of pharmaceutical, products in this marketplace. We have big established brands like Ciprotab, Astimine, Tuxil, and all whatnot. We started in 1995 as a distributor of pharmaceutical products for multinationals and for importers. But then, developed our own brands in 1996. Since that time, we began to only sell our own products, and we de-emphasized and discontinued distribution for multinationals. And we then grew from contract manufacturing our own brands from India into owning our own factories in Nigeria. And since then, we have built 3 factories, and the one that we currently occupy is the largest pharmaceutical manufacturing plant in Nigeria that has over 7 lines. You have liquids, tablets, capsules, dry powder. You have infusions, and you also have the ophthalmics, which is basically eye drops and ear drops. So basically, this is who we are.
You've literally gone through different phases of expansion, and whether of products or of operations ever since you started. I would like you to tell me or walk me through what roles the Bank of Industry has played in these sets of expansions.
Bank of Industry, as you know, is one of those developmental institutions that has really helped in literally making Nigeria a manufacturing hub within West Africa. When we were going into manufacturing, we actually started with commercial loans that was pretty expensive for an industry like ours, where what you need to manufacture must be of a particular standard, right? Otherwise, you will not have the kind of efficacious and acceptable product to the regulator, NAFDAC. Therefore, the capital outlay for setting up a pharmaceutical plant is pretty high, and the entry barrier, as it were, is also very high. So when we started, it was basically, through commercial bank loans. However, fortunately, in 2010, 2011, we made an inroad into BoI, and since then, we have had loans literally at sub 10%, right? To do expansion, to build our factories, to expand our business, and also working capital loans. And that in itself has literally brought down the cost of production, in our plant. So BoI is one of those developmental institutions that Nigeria must continue to emphasize and to expand, upon.
Let's zero in on the specifics. I know there have been cycles of loans. Can you walk us through these loans and what they were specifically used for in terms of infrastructure?
In 2011, we got our first loan of 1.4 billion naira, which was basically to complete our biotech plant, which is the current plant that we have, which is the largest in Nigeria, like I said. And then in 2015, we then accessed another tranche of 700 million naira, as a working capital loan. Now that we have almost paid up, the entire 1.4 billion that we first accessed, right? We have accessed another 2 billion naira for further expansion of the plant, for capacity expansion, and for the introduction of new molecules or new products, as it were, in the plant, and also working capital. Working capital, as you know, would basically be for the procurement of all inputs for manufacturing, and also for marketing.
All right, can you also give me a sense of the impact of those interventions? On one side, the impact within your organization in terms of how much more jobs you're able to create and how much more production capacity that you have as a result of those interventions. And then the linkages within the Nigerian economy or your own value chain, the pharmaceutical value chain, that intervention has been able to create or lubricate.
When we got listed in 2008, it was essentially to access cheap funds, from the stock market to build a factory. And then there was a downturn almost immediately thereafter. Therefore, we couldn't go for the second tranche of fundraise that we wanted to do. So the only choice that was then available to us was to go to BoI. And we went to BoI and began to work with BoI until about 2010, when they finally approved the loan and we accessed it in 2011. That in itself shaved a minimum of about 11% of the cost of funding, the project. That made it possible for us to put up the plant much more cheaper than we would have if we were using commercial bank loans. That's one. Two, when we accessed the working capital, that also reduced the cost of working capital, for us. So between accessing the loan for infrastructure and working capital, right? We were able to shave an average of about 12-13% of cost of funding. All of that were then given back, right, to the consumer, primarily because we are known for for manufacturing and selling affordable products. So all of that were inputs given back to the consumer, and the ordinary Nigerian on the street was then able to access quality products, at affordable prices. That's one. Two, in the 10 years that we have been in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we have paid dividend, throughout that period. The BoI loan was an enabler, right? In those 10 years, we have paid about 2 billion as dividends. In other words, returns to shareholders has been about 2 billion during that period, which represents roughly 7% annually on the average, on their investment. In terms of employment, when we, left the old factory for this new factory, at the time we were leaving, there were just about 250 staff. But in this current factory, we have 700 staff working with us, currently. That in itself, tells you that the BoI loan the BoI as an institution is an institution that Nigeria must continue to encourage in order to, develop her manufacturing capabilities. Without BoI or such developmental banks, I do not see how you can establish, manufacturing, institutions in Nigeria in a place where commercial loan regimes are between 18 and 23%, right? And where infrastructure, the investment on infrastructure, right, is immense, for manufacturers, because you have to produce your own water, produce your own electricity. You're literally a local government to yourself, right? And it is only BoI loan that could have, ensured a maximization, of whatever funding that was available.
Have you ever imagined a time when you could apply for and get a loan from the comfort of your bedroom? Or prayed that the processing time was shorter? Well, it is now a reality with the fast and swift Bank of Industry real-time online loan application initiative.
The BoI online loan application portal is designed to deliver access and convenience to prospecting SME customers by ensuring that applicants need not have to physically visit the bank. Applicants simply have to submit all necessary documents via the online portal with the liberty to select their preferred BoI state office wherein their applications will be processed. How it works? Simply search the keyword Bank of Industry and download your mobile app from Play Store for Android users, BlackBerry App World for BlackBerry users, and Apple Store for iPhone users. Click on the Apply button. Click on Register to register your account. A verification link and tracking code will be sent to your registered email address. Click on the verification link to facilitate login. Once logged in, you can complete your application, submit, and click on Continue to start tracking your loan application. An email will be sent to your email address confirming receipt of the application. With this initiative, BoI has reduced its loan application and processing turnaround time. Start applying for your loan right away. Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.
Even though Fidson began as a local distributor of pharmaceutical products, the goal was not to be a trading company. They wanted to build a local pharmaceutical giant that was globally competitive. Today, Fidson boasts of a self-sustaining World Health Organization certified plant covering a 12-acre land area in Ogun State.
Well, a couple of considerations when the idea to set up this kind of facility came to our minds. We looked at the terrain, that is the pharma manufacturing space, and we found out that what obtained as at that time wasn't something one can really proud of as the best the Nigerian pharmaceutical manufacturing industry could offer. And don't forget that when the company was battered, the dream of the promoter of the business was not just to start as a trading concern, but to manufacture. And you know the man we are talking about, anything he wants to go into, he likes to be the best in it. Therefore, when we looked at the terrain then, we couldn't really find any company that could proudly represent Nigeria in terms of practices, in terms of structures, in terms of even offerings, product offerings to the market. Therefore, we set out to put up a facility that would, one, be comparable to the best in the world, two, the one that can give our own people good quality medicines, just like any other people, especially in Europe and America, were able to get. Three, to also upgrade the pharma industry for people to see us and be something that they look up to, something to emulate. Again, to also be at the vanguard of expanding the pharma space in terms of quality of structures, quality of services, quality of men, and quality of the products we are offering to the Nigerian market.
The company has also played defining roles in the emergence of a new generation of industry players through innovation, excellence, passion, integrity, and ownership. Fidson currently runs a high standard of quality control with a current Good Manufacturing Practice CGMP compliant facility. The CGMP is a primary regulatory standard for ensuring quality in the pharmaceutical industry. Fidson is also one of a few Nigerian pharmaceutical manufacturers in line for the World Health Organization's GMP certification. And here is why.
We have adopted the system that works for us, and that's the quality management system. The system incorporates current good manufacturing practice, as well as using WHO standard as a guide to the way we operate our processes. Include one, the premises and the facility. Here we look at the hygiene, we look at the health and safety of our staff, we look at good housekeeping. We ensure that the temperatures and the humidity of all our environments are monitored, as well as the microbial load to prevent contamination of such products. Then we also look at our equipment. Every equipment that resides in this facility is qualified. Qualification ensures that the specification and operations of the equipment is for its intended use. We also look at our processes, which is key to ensure consistency in the delivery of products that meets our consumer in the market. We ensure that all processes are validated, and the validation of all processes ensures this consistency. We also look at the personnel. One thing about current good manufacturing practice is the fact that it evolves. And as such, the capacity of our staff also needs to evolve. And what we do, we engage in constant training, building in the capacity of our staff, and we ensure that this is carried out as per requirement. We look at the areas of our stability and ensuring that the shelf life of products are determined. There must be a stability studies carried out on each product that is found in the market. Every raw material that comes into the system must undergo analysis. Even before then, we ensure that the suppliers of such materials are qualified to make sure they are complying with GMP requirements before we receive such materials into our facility. Even with that, we carry out analysis to determine whether they are the correct raw materials, as well that they meet with the specification intended for them. We also look at our finished products. Every product that is manufactured, that's why if I go through the stringent controls in manufacturing, whereby quality has an overview, we also ensure that we carry out the needed analysis for such products to ensure that whatever comes out meets the standards, meets the requirement, is safe, and it has its efficacy due to what it's intended for.
Water is key to the production of drugs, and that's why Fidson takes its water production and purification processes very seriously.
Core manufacturing process starts from having good water. You must be able, we have our water processes in such a way that the water is chlorinated online, that is the process of disinfection from the borehole. Then it goes through what we call water treatment processes that start from softening the water. Then after softening the water, you pass the water through what we call reverse osmosis system. The reverse osmosis system removes every unwanted material from the water through what we call fine membrane. And this water, again, is passed through what we call the process of deionization. Deionization is a process that removes all unwanted ions and particles and everything that we do not need in the water. Purified water now fits what we call the multi-column distillation plant. This is a plant that generates the water for injection. The water for injection is what we use in the manufacturing of the infusions and the eye drops. This purified water and also water for injection must be kept in constant loop circulation. When we are talking of loop circulation, they must be in motion in such a way that you don't encourage stagnation, because our aim is to maintain sterility of the product up to the end user, who is the patient in the hospital. You can imagine a situation whereby an infusion product is given to a patient in the hospital, and that will not be of any benefit to that patient, and it could even be detrimental to the health of such a patient. So that is the reason why all these stringent processes are put in place, in order to maintain that level of the required sterility and even therapeutic efficacy of the products.
The federal government has announced a number of stimulus packages to support people and businesses across different sectors as the country deals with the novel pandemic. That's the COVID-19. What's more, there are several funds targeted at different groups of entrepreneurs at the Bank of Industry, waiting for serious ones and qualified businesses to maximize. You will do well today to contact the Bank of Industry. They're working from home. Visit their website at boi.ng or call at any of their branches closest to you. For further information, feel free to tweet at me at KAY Alayande. Previous editions of the program are all available on YouTube. Simply type BOI Weekly in the search area And there you go. That will be our package for today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Kaidi Alayande. Bye now.